Something is shifting under the surface. Indexes are still near their highs, but leadership is thinning out. And when strength narrows while volatility rises, markets tend to be more fragile than they appear. In our strategy, we do not forecast outcomes. We work through a probability-based, phase-sequenced framework. We focus on mechanisms, transmission, and confirmation. What matters is not the headline move. What matters is what is happening underneath. Right now, we are seeing a dispersion regime. Defensive sectors are holding up, while large-cap technology is weakening. Breadth is deteriorating even though the index has not fully broken down. That combination often signals late Phase 1, drifting toward Phase 2 compression. Phase 2 is not a crash phase, it is a multiple compression and rotation phase. Leadership churns, rallies fail more quickly, defensive positioning gains relative strength. The index can remain range-bound while internal damage builds. The comparison being made to prior cycles is less about repeating 2000 and more about concentration risk. When a small group of names carries the index, the system becomes more sensitive. If earnings momentum cools or CapEx expectations are repriced, multiples compress before revenues collapse. That is the mechanism. Options positioning is another layer. So-called put walls are not predictions. They are potential inflection zones. If price stabilizes above them and breadth improves, the system absorbs pressure. If price breaks below and volatility remains elevated, dealer hedging can amplify the move. The level is not the signal. The reaction is. We are also watching the transmission channel from the consumer into credit. If labor softens and spending slows, revenue visibility weakens. If that translates into widening spreads and tighter lending, Phase 3 probabilities rise. Without that confirmation, we remain in a compression regime. If this kind of structured breakdown helps you see the cycle more clearly, consider subscribing. The goal here is to build a durable framework you can use across regimes, so you are not reacting to every headline, but tracking the signals that actually matter. From a probability standpoint, through June 2026, we assign roughly 40 to 55% odds to Phase 2 compression dominating. Around 25 to 40% that Phase 1 extends with rotation but no structural break. And roughly 10 to 25% that Phase 3 stress emerges, contingent on sustained credit spread widening and funding strain. Into December 2026, those probabilities shift only if we see confirmation. Persistent volatility, deteriorating auctions, dollar strength creating funding pressure, and spreads widening together would increase Phase 3 odds. If instead breadth stabilizes and leadership broadens, Phase 2 fades. It is important to state clearly that this is educational macro commentary, not financial advice. We are mapping probabilities and mechanisms, not telling anyone what to buy or sell. What would invalidate the more cautious interpretation? Sustained breadth improvement, credit spreads tightening while volatility mean reverts, cyclical leadership returning without defensive dominance. Those are the signals that would recalibrate our phase mapping. This is a market where mechanics matter more than narratives. We do not need to be early. We need to be disciplined. We watch confirmation, we adjust probabilities, and we preserve optionality.